New hot and iced Sunrise Batch Coffee from Dunkin'. A bright and balanced, full-bodied blend brewed so you can get summering from sunrise to sunset. And even after that, because that's when you can show off those string lights you hung in the backyard. Or rehung. Enjoy a medium hot or iced Sunrise Batch Coffee for $2. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply.
Welcome to Situational Awareness Tactics Podcast. This podcast provides the crucial art of understanding current elements in an environment to increase your safety and survival. Here's your host, forensic psychologist and consultant, Dr. Carlos.
Men kidnap 2 women and force them to take out cash from bank twice. This is called express kidnapping, folks. Police are looking for 2 suspects. They say kidnapped 2 women and forced them to take out cash from an ATM. This is from ABC 13. It happened on Monday, May 3rd, shortly before midnight. 2 women were talking in the parking lot after eating dinner at a restaurant, which is a normal behavior. Investigators said 2 armed men in a maroon SUV pulled up and tried to rob the women. The suspects then forced the women into their vehicle, drove them to an ATM, and forced them to take out cash. So my guess is when they tried to rob them, when they pulled up, they didn't have anything on them, supposedly. So they decided to take them to the ATM, or they robbed them and then thought, well, could take them more money. The suspects then decided they wanted more money, but had to wait for a bank to open. They drove the complainants to a hotel where they forced them to stay overnight. The women reportedly kept each other safe by staying awake and keeping an eye on each other. The next morning, investigators said the suspects drove the women to a bank and forced them to take out more cash. The suspects even made the women sell their cell phones at an Eco ATM, which gives you instant cash for a phone right on the spot. The women were dropped off, both unharmed, thankfully. One of the suspects is being described as a black man in his late 20s to early 30s, about 5'9", 5'11". The second, a black man in his 20s, 6 foot tall with a thin build. These are in Houston. Information leading to the charge or arrest may result in a cash payment of $5,000. It's 713-222-TIPS. Remember, in Houston, they also had people following individuals coming out of high-end stores. And this was another problem they were having in Houston. So you can see a little bit more of a sophistication going on in some of these robberies, because they were looking at these high-end stores, following the people home, and then robbing them at their house, obviously knowing that they probably had more at their home. In situational awareness, this is one of these things we talked about. When you're going from one point to your car, go straight to your car. These aren't the days anymore where you can kind of hang out, depending on your area that you're in. But honestly, and I'm not criticizing these women whatsoever, but in today's world, just go straight to your car or stay in the restaurant. Don't hang out in the parking lots. Just go straight to your car, lock the doors, and go. You have to make it a purposeful mission at that point. Same thing with the ones at the fancy stores and the shopping malls. If you're coming from a good store, not a good store, but an expensive store, make sure that you look around. Make sure to see who the cars are parked next to you. Do you see anybody? Do that 525 meter check. Is there anybody around that 75-foot range? It's coming towards you, it looks suspect. If they are, I would go back to the store again. Make sure you're not being followed. So again, not paranoid, which doesn't relate, because clinically it's not nothing to do with this. Not hypervigilant, but vigilant. So in other words, if you see somebody with a green shirt and you're looking at whatever it is in a part of a store, and then later you're at another part of a store, you see the green shirt again, and now you're walking outside and the green shirt is there, I go back in and stay. Maybe ask for security to walk you to your car. That's being vigilant. If you don't buy too many items at one time, do multiple trips, because if your hands are both full, they're going to target you. That's a perfect target because you're incapacitated at that point. And they can try to grab at least 1 or 2 bags out of it. So try not to do that. Remember, a trunk is a transition point, just like a car door. So make it very fast if you're going to drop stuff in there. Personally, if you don't have to, don't jump it in the trunk. Just drop it off in the front seat and just go. Get into the car, drop the bags in, lock the door. But again, check the cars next to you. If there's a car that has a big truck, I would at least pass the truck to see if anybody's there. Around that corner, check the 525 to see if anybody's around. May sound a little bit cumbersome, a little extra work, but it can prevent you a lot of hassles. These two ladies were very fortunate in the sense of their money was the only thing stolen. They didn't rape them. They didn't sexually assault them. They didn't assault them, period. So that was good in the sense of that they got really lucky in that capacity. But we don't know what these two guys were going to do again in the future. We don't know if they increase their intensity and violence. We don't know. And you really don't know who it is that's pulling you over. So really, in reality, just really be cautious when you're out there. Get in the car, get out of there. Don't sit in the parking lot. Know the area you're in. Understand what they're doing.
Savings starts with Xfinity. Get a great price on Xfinity Internet. Plus, ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back when you add Xfinity Mobile. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply.
Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch. They have licensed agents available 24/7 online or over the phone.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident, and you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.